going to find out what's going to happen in game number 2 right now.
Yep, the game is going to be played on Habitation Station, and we can see that Incredible Miracles Nestea is our red Zerg player, spawning on the left top side of this, how to describe it, Ben? Funky map. It is a little funky.
Yellow map.
Well, it is definitely funky. Gold bases. Gold bases.
It looks kind of like a butterfly.
I'm still not sure. Yeah, it does. I'm still not sure how to describe it. Butterfly with one eye.
Yeah, Cyclops butterfly.
And of course, Desi is our panda toss spawning on the right top side of this map. Already secured himself with $2,000, which is something that he was extremely happy with, as he tweeted it, shared it on Facebook. Of course, everyone who's part of WCS Premier League will walk away with $2,000.
The butterfly, the panda, and the creator.
Next season, Ben.
Sounds like a kung fu flick.
Mm-hmm. I'd watch it.
Me too. We're watching it right now.
The panda, butterfly. And then he said Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Because Kung Fu Panda.
Well, why not?
Okay.
It's fair to say, right? Desi showed us that he can totally rock that bow staff, Napoleon Dynamite style.
In the previous game, Nestea just went for that hatch first in his own natural. Despite Desrow scouting it, Desrow was just opening up very standard with that gateway fast expand. This time we have a drone on the other side of the map again, Ben. Perhaps he's worried about proxies, as we see people proxying stuff pretty often on Habitation Station. But is he going to go really crazy as well?
I think he's going to go really crazy.
But he already has the hatch in his own natural.
And it doesn't matter. It's just Nestea.
Nah.
3 hatch before spawning pool.
He's not going to do it this time.
No, probably not. But it'd be really awesome if he did.
We'll most likely just see the spawning pool go down real soon, and we see him open up gasless once more. I'm curious if Desi is going to open up a little differently than he did in the previous game. Then again, it's much easier to pressure that opening on Polar Night than it is on Habitation Station, because here you have to pick up that ramp, and then the queens will just get so many free shots of that it's almost impossible.
Nestea goes up to 18 drones. I think he's going to build a hatchery.
He has a spawning pool in his main already.
I know. Oh, well, never mind. The probe came down. He can't now.
He's just being annoying.
Yeah.
Starting to block.
He still hasn't started an Overlord.
He's like, this is payback for all these years that every pro ever. But hey, if you guys...
It's definitely become a mainstay of Nestea's playstyle. Like, how many times have we seen him do this crazy stuff? Not this time, though, as he pulls that drone back off the map. Played a pretty standard game in game number 1 and managed to come out on top with what is just becoming stylistic Nestea. Do something and then switch into a lot of mutas.
No matter what you see, no matter how the game unfolds, eventually, don't spend your money until you have a lot of money.
And then make a lot of mutas. And then make mutas.
This is an excellent map for Swarm Host. I think one of the best ones out there. I find it personally pretty hard to play on this map.
I might even argue that the stereotypical Swarm Host styles of late were born on this map, where Zerg players kind of felt as if they didn't have any other options. It's very difficult to play normal styles on Habitation Station just because of the nature of chokes and ramps and things like that. Attacking is very difficult, and when you cannot attack, you have no choice but to defend.
Excellent middle map, though.
Well, it can be. There's no better defensive Zerg style than the Swarm Host Turtle that has become popular recently.
Still no gas for Nestea, as we are kind of used to him from now. Of course, he's going to be able to overtake Desrow very early on in this game, worker-wise. Look at this, Ben. This is unusual, even with this opening. Even though he's going to lose a few drones, getting extractors and everything. Desrow once more dropping those 2 additional gates before he decides to reveal his stack. In the previous game, it was a Stargate. And I felt that those Phoenixes early on, you know, they didn't do bad. It wasn't like the craziest amount of damage that we've ever seen, but
they did well.
I would say they got their job done.
I would agree with you. I would also point out that Nestea's opening was very greedy, hatch first into 18 spawning pool. And you can't really delay that pool much more than that.
Well, so before the 6-minute mark, he's already ahead by 6 workers.
Yep.
That is pretty sweet.
And only now taking his gases and still enjoying that worker lead with those gases down. So things are looking nice for Nestea here in the early game. Desi, his Stargate is finishing up, and we'll begin producing off of that here shortly.
If you squeeze out a few more drones, then I would even say you can blindly throw down some spores, whether it's Phoenixes or not, you know. At least you're safe, and those spore crawlers are going to be good regardless. And since he already has his bases pretty properly saturated, and he has no intention of taking into a base right now, I think that you should always just throw down at least 2 spores, 1 a base. What do you think?
I don't have any issues with it. It's certainly something that I should do in my play, but I don't because I'm terrible. But a lot of Zerg players just have it in their build. Okay, let's make 2 spore crawlers now. And I think Nestea probably has something like Scout at this time, and if I see nothing...
Do you think that this burrow that he always gets is just in case of gateway stuff.
I think Nestea's been listening to Mr. Bittercast, and he's like, he's right. You should always get Burrow. It is a very cheap upgrade. There is no reason not to have it.
It's actually not that cheap. Like, it's not super expensive, but it's not for free. In this phase in the game, like if Zerg is on 4 bases, okay, I feel you. But on 2, it is an investment.
I think it is always worth it. Even though we've literally seen Nestea do nothing with it.
No, I've not seen him burrow a single unit. But it would be very good. Like for instance, if Desrow would go crazy this game, which is not the case because we can already see the rollbacks facility being wiped in. But imagine if you would have gone Phoenix into 8 gate. Having Burrow then, it's
almost
sweet.
hard countered by Burrow.
Yeah. Then again, if you Burrow and the Phoenixes pick up 5 units, then like the rest of your army is not fighting while 5 units are dying. But then if you also have spores, they scare away the Phoenixes. Either way, it's a very identical game to the previous one.
One roach and 2 queens. This is a motley crew if ever there has been one.
Monish, of course, taking so much damage. Oh, there was a transfuse on the spore crawler. That was sick. He's like on the last minute, well, this queen is gonna die anyway. I might as well just throw down and transfuse. Both queens will fall though. This is a nice little push by Desrow. The roaches are a little bit out of position then.
That's a super cute timing. And this gold base could be in a little bit of trouble. 5 zealots and a sentry. Roaches are making their way forward. It's gonna be. Ooh, I think this might go down, Kev. There are no real reinforcements coming out. Nestea, I'm not sure what happened there, but just does not have a presence on the map. And Desrow, getting very generous, leaves the hatchery at 1 hit point before headbutting it to death.
I mean, it wasn't for free for Desrow, but it was definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, certainly considering the fact that that's gold base. If he lets that finish, he's going to find himself in a really.
Be careful with his Mothership Core though. I felt like it wasn't grouped for a while. Phoenix is going to fly in. Of course, that Spore did die, so maybe he can pick up another Queen. As there's not a single transfuse. Well, these guys have transfuse. You know, he's still doing a lot of work. Forces out 2 transfuse. I think he can go back soon and pick up these Queens, Ben. There's not a single Spore here. 3 Queens with not a single transfuse available. He has 5 Phoenixes. That's actually pretty easy. I think he can do this. He's probably waiting for energy. He has 3 lifts right now. I would really love to see him fly back and pick up the one with most energy. He's not gonna do it.
He might. He may still.
He's gonna pick up this one, which is a little bit out of position, which is also good. That's a lot of free hits without taking any damage on his Phoenixes. He will pick up one. At the same time, we have a bunch of roaches on the other side of the map trying to be annoying. But
that's not going to happen. Great opening here for Desrow. It has to be said. He's in a phenomenal position. Phoenix is finding overlords now. And these are going to be free kills. This is going to nearly supply block Nestea. Forcing more overlords and, you know, more of a reaction.
The Immortals just like runs out of position. Now a bunch of roaches will be able to walk into the main base. They do not have Tunneling Claws. They do have Burrow.
And it's used finally.
Single observer on the map. Desrow is in a fantastic position.
Oh, there's still roaches in the 3rd base and in the main base, Kev. A couple of those roaches did squeeze past still. They are going to burrow and just continue to be annoying for as long as they can.
What a great upgrade. I think you should always get Burrow.
I don't know if you're teasing me or what, but there's no reason to not have Burrow ever.
It's pretty useful. It's pretty useful. This is actually really good because the Nestea was behind quite a few workers, man, and now he's basically evening up the work.
He's killed 9, and he's gonna get more.
And above all, he's slowing Desrow down a little bit. The place in the game where Desrow forgets about the Phoenixes. Hopefully not for the rest of the game.
That was funny. Well, now he has tunnel too. So these roaches are super scary.
Desrow is making more Phoenixes as well than he did in all the previous games combined. He's going to go up to 6 Phoenixes now already. There's just a single Spore near that gold base. I think those Phoenixes could fly in and lift up a bunch of drones. So far they have done excellent work.
Supply-wise, it is fairly even. 128 supply for Desi, 118 for Nestea.
Desrow does not believe in killing drones with Phoenixes apparently, man. He has not killed a single...
Would much rather lift these roaches.
Why can these roaches not go through the rocks? That makes no sense.
They just fell on the top of the ground. So, I mean, what's under the ground is unchanged, unless it's like more hard-packed soil. I think the change we really need is that when a roach tunnels, other Zerg units can follow behind. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
Bunch of Swarmers are, of course, out on the map once more. Phoenix count is still climbing. We did have a Roboway, right? Or am I crazy now? Yeah, okay. We have a Roboway. There's not a single cluster out on the map just yet. Either way, Desrow doing a really good job here. Once more being a little scary.
Like he just his weirdest ways. He's got 11 swarm hosts. But he has been isolated from that gold base once more, and it's going to be tricky. Desrow forced to use a lot of force field because he doesn't want to fight locusts But
It's good enough though to at least pick off a lot of these overlords again. The queen will fall. He still keeps that observer alive as well, which is important. A lot of roaches on the way. Desrow has to be a little bit careful that he doesn't overstep his boundaries.
He actually loses a couple stalkers there, and the sentry might go down, but...
I guess it was a really hard commitment for him to make, to walk up that ramp, because hey, if suddenly he's trapped over there, he's going to lose an entire army.
There was no Mothership Core, no recall, and he had to be safe. But Nestea does manage a successful defense of this gold base, and that's a huge deal.
Hard call to make there if you're Desrow. Do you walk up that ramp and kill that hatchery, but with the risk of being surrounded by locusts and roaches, or do you just go back and play it safe? He played it safe, not necessarily the wrong call.
Nestea is dropping that Spire, perhaps preparing for, once again, a big switch over into the Mutas. We've seen him do it in every game that he's won.
Where are the Phoenixes? We have 8 of them. Bottom of the map.
Lost but not forgotten.
Desrow could kill so many drones with these Phoenixes. Actually ridiculous. It's just a single Spore Crawler here. If 8 Phoenixes with the amount of energy that they have, man, fly in. It's ridiculous what they will do. They will kill everything.
Look at those good burrowed roaches.
Yeah, they're pretty annoying.
There's still 2 in the main base too. How many kills are there? Usually there's like 1 kill and 0 kills. Like, that's a whole kill.
They got 7 kills, all of them on the map. But throughout the entire game, Nestea has killed 15 probes, which is pretty good.
Yeah, he's been effective, and he still has
Desrow using these Phoenixes.
annoying little things that he can do. Desi actually does find these burrowed roaches on the right side of the map, and he'll deal with that. But at the same time, Nestea is advancing his map position, continuing to spread creep, continuing to press forward with his swarm hosts.
Unless Desrow ban is just ahead of the meta, he's like letting Nestea think that the Phoenixes are gone. Now he's dropping a fleet beacon, going up to another Phoenix, because he knows that Nestea wants to go into Mutalisk.
Next level.
And he will do it. Oh, these force fields keep... Protect the Colossus! Protect the Colossus! Force field is a little late to the party. That's a few roaches too many.
Finally, Nestea's going to make use of tunneling claws.
Oh man, this is going to hurt Desrow, I think. I think Desrow should recall, man.
He's in a tricky spot here. This Nexus could be under fire. We are going to see that recall, recalling into the natural. And of course, Nestea is immediately going to burrow a lot of these roaches, just so that he can continue to have a presence on this side of the map. While this is happening, he is making that switch into Muta, and this time, Desrow might be perfectly prepared for it because he has 9 Phoenixes out on the map.
Yep. Desrow does not have a single observer out on the map.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks for him.
But he's got a lot of Phoenixes, and that's going to suck for Nestea.
He has a fleet beacon as well, correct? Or did you lose it? No, he has a fleet beacon, he has double robo. I mean, this is kind of that moment where Desrow just needs like 30 seconds to get everything in order. If he does that, he's going to be in a good position. But I'm afraid that it's just going to all spiral out of control, that he's going to have a few units too many in one place and a few too few in the other. He has these Phoenixes here. Does he have... No,
I like Desi's position here, Kev. He's at about 170 supply. He's got the Phoenixes in play.
I like it if he stabilizes.
And that's true. He can't really afford to keep taking damage, but he's taking a 4th base. He's active with the Phoenixes, so we know that they're not just forgotten.
Jackpot! Well, free drones.
That's going to clean out this expansion, and it's also going to alert Nestea to the Phoenixes.
Yeah,
we see Phoenix range being researched now. So what do you do from here, Nestea? He's going to immediately get pathogen glands, banking on a good fungal.
That is a good decision.
Deal with it.
I really like that move. Did he also see the fleet beacon? And this is important. Yeah, he saw it was being wiped in. Not sure if he clicked on it, but considering the fact that he's Nestea, he definitely clicked on it. Actually, Nestea knew it was going on before he saw it.
Nestea basically said, "Hey, build a fleet beacon."
Yeah.
Desrow said, "Yes, sir."
We all live in Nestea's world.
Roaches, because of that burrow. Great upgrade. Burrow.
Oh.
No.
Man, that's right. Stuck around for a long time. I kind of like that Nestea is not blindly sacrificing those Mutalisks. He's also keeping them among Overlords, making it very hard for Phoenixes to fly in and get like that dream engagement they're looking for. Still though, like a lot of corruptors on the map now as well. Roach is still being annoying. That's why just having a hard time and like truly stabilizing. Yes, he's sort of out of woods, and yes, he is maxed out, and he has obviously a pretty scary Protoss army. But I feel that it could be so much more.
Yeah, he's making it difficult for, or Nestea's making it difficult for Desrow to reliably remax, as we do see a couple of units getting caught by some of these locusts.
Oh, he doesn't
There's
have
no thermal
lance.
lance? Does Nestea realize it? Is he focusing that robotics bay? I don't think that he is. These roaches are... maybe he does. We'll see. Swarm Host trying to be effective in the center of the map and doing a good job of it, buying a lot of time for Nestea, who's continuing to power out Corruptors. He's at 9 Corruptors, 19 Mutalisks against 11 Phoenixes.
Such an unusual game. I feel so many of the games that we've seen today are just a little different. Like seeing Swarm Host against Protoss is of course not weird, but the way that these games are unfolding, just a little different.
His base down at the bottom right-hand corner of the map is going to be the real keystone in Desrow's game here. If he can keep this going, he's gonna be okay. But as we saw that Roach,
we have a bunch of Corruptors in this army now as well. But yes, we have 11 Phoenixes with the range, which actually should just be good enough. Like there's no need for Desrow to take a lot of damage. Blinked up to the high ground over here as well. Picked up a few. I must say it's kind of cool how Nestea is using these swarm modes, because he's not just relying only on the free units. He's not just only working with static D and swarm modes. I'm not sure if this is the most effective way to play swarm modes, but it's definitely more fun.
Corruptors are going to go after these Phoenixes, and one of them is going to go down. And of course, Desi realizing that he doesn't want to stick around and just fight heads up against the Corruptors. But Nestea's got to be so careful. Phoenixes with these upgrades are so good. Stalker's going to add to the fight as well. Nexus does fall as we see more mutas in production here for Nestea. Desi's adding more Stargates.
I mean, Nestea really needs to secure another base though, and there are a bunch of Zealots over here making that very hard. Desrow has been doing a really good job in being active with his army out on the map as well. It's not like he's just been sitting back, not doing anything, letting the entire mob being covered by creep and static defenses. He's been doing a really good job in denying
This is so hard to micro against ranged Phoenixes.
You can't. You just like hit across and then you hope that Protoss messes up.
A little surprised we haven't seen any infestors as
maybe he wants to, well, he has no gas, and I think he wants to bring it out as a surprise. More drones on the way right now. I'm a little sad that Desrow sacrificed those Zealots, because those Zealots were preventing this hatchery from going up. Meanwhile, Desrow is going to try to take his 5th base, but Nestea will say, you've got enough bases, son.
Both players are maxed out. Desi has a much larger bank though, and will be able to remax a couple of times. Muta's going to deny one expansion attempt down here at the bottom of the map.
Nestea has to be very careful with how he positions these AI units, because all that these Phoenixes need is like one small favorable engagement, and then they start chipping away and gonna lose 6-7 units. It's just a matter of time before we will see the first infestors on the production tab, and then it's going to be so important that Desrow is aware of this, because if you're not aware of the fact that infestors are out, even though Desrow is a good player, he should know that it is always a possibility, especially in these long dragged out games. Man, this is still anybody's game.
It is. You have two maxed out armies. You have both players starting to establish bank. You have Nestea going up to high. You have Desrow adding more air upgrades. And it's impossible to predict the outcome right now. I do like Desrow's position.
Great cancel there, man, on that hatchery in the left bottom side of this map. So important as Nestea is not starving for gas, but we see when he's truly spending money that he runs out of gas very quickly. So losing that base over and over again is fantastic work for Desrow. There's an observer here. I would love to see a bunch of overseers being morphed by Nestea. He actually only has a single one. I think you should always bring an overseer with your muta flush so you can pick up observers non-stop.
Completely agree.
Phoenixes have +1 right now, by the way. So they're starting to, instead of tickle, they're starting to.
And they're being made 3 at a time. We do see 3 infestors on the production tab.
That's all he needs. All he needs is 1 fungal.
That's exactly right. And it is as many. Ooh.
Recall. Okay.
Interesting choice.
Temple Archives is going to fall. Nestea picking up a lot of pretty important tech over here.
Oh, he's got to be so careful though. He cannot afford to lose these kinds of Mutalisks. As Mutas and Corruptors both falling in mass, and Nestea, a terrible engagement, is going to lose every single Corruptor. He lost about 10 Mutas.
He just made 4 more infestors, Ben. If your Corruptors are out of position over here, it's very likely that Desrow is going to chase down these Mutalisks right now, Ben. But it's also possible that this is the moment. He does have Burrow, of course. He can Burrow the infestors, which is maybe the right way to go at it. Would you say so?
The only way to go at it is Desrow. As long as he's looking at those Phoenixes, it's never ever going to fly him over an infestor.
10 more Mutalisks are on the way. Once more, Nestea is going to start for gas. And if you, I mean, Desrow has been doing a really good job in denying this base. I also feel that Nestea has not been trying hard enough. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's basically tried to take it once.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, 4 Zealots.
Well, I guess I better never take it again. But he does have the gold. He's been mining gas the gold this whole time, so that has helped him a great deal. Both players are still maxed. 5k, 3k, the bank for Desrow. Nestea has much less money at his disposal.
Does Desrow see the infestors? He doesn't know just yet. Where are those Phoenixes?
Need to be burrowed.
Okay, he's going to hallucinate Phoenixes.
Okay,
I'm going to keep a close eye from Desrow's vision.
Go under. So Nestea making the right call here.
He
+3
brought them.
on the way.
Uh-oh. Phoenixes, man. Phoenixes are coming. Oh no.
Nestea!
It's like an accident waiting to happen.
Is he going to land the fungal?
Yeah,
Catching some, but not all, and that is going to be okay for Nestea. Picking off a lot of these Phoenixes, but it's not GG by any stretch. Wow, there's only 6 Phoenixes left. Maybe it is. 33 Mutas against 6 Phoenixes.
Wow.
That was a much bigger catch than I realized. A good storm, though, from Desrow is going to keep him in it. Oh, my goodness, he caught so many of those Phoenixes. I had no idea it was that good. That being said, Desi,
Good unit too.
you know, he is stable. He is okay. He kills off all the infestors, and he still has a ridiculous bank. 6K, 3K. That is a lot of ability to recycle for Desrow.
And let's not forget, he's still on 3 Stargates, or maybe it's 2, maybe he lost the one in the main, but he still has 2 Stargates, so he's still able to pump out quite a few Phoenixes. This time the hedge will finish. Yes, you can catch a break
so
when it
there's
comes
going to be
this
drones there, which makes it a little bit more painful.
Yeah. In all honesty though, like he should have been doing he should have been more active trying to spread creep over there, put Swarmos a little close to that base.
Dangerous game, Nestea. Committing yourself to this natural. Phoenixes are going to come straight back, and you're going to
There's
kill...
no recall this time.
He's going to kill a Nexus, but...
Where are the Stargates? They're over here. There's a storm over here as well.
Oh, and he does land
great
that storm. Phoenix is getting dangerously close to the Mutas. Nestea knows that he wants to deny the power on these Stargates. That's going to help a little bit. These are good fights for the Mutas so far. Desrow being surprisingly sloppy with his Phoenix control.
It's kind of hard though, like in all the... Okay, with Phoenix range you could say maybe it should never happen, but when the Phoenix number is that high, it's a free Mothership Core. Ah! It's free! Free Mothership Core, good to pick up, man.
Never trust a free thing.
Yeah. He's like, there are like 3 High Templars below it, or something like that.
Obviously hallucination.
You cannot hallucinate a Mothership Core.
Nestea talks like an angry Todd.
Is it clean hallucination?
2 more Stargates going down for Desrow right now. Desi playing the game of his life. 5K, 3K in the bank.
He's like saving gas like Nestea has been. He's going to make 27 Phoenixes at once.
How would you like that? Think I only have 3 Phoenixes? No, son. Gonna still lose a few. Nestie's doing a great job there, by the way. Splitting up only a small part of his army, so there is always a chance that a few of the Phoenixes follow a Mutalisk that is still traced to, you know, move to the other side of the map, and then only a other small part turns around and get a couple of free shots off. Once more, Zealot starts slicing away this hatchery. Nestea really needs some more bases soon, Ben. Like, these extractors have 2,000 gas left. These I ran out. The ones at the gold have like, okay, so he has like 4,000 gas left to work with.
Links are going to do a little bit of work, but...
Are these slow links?
I think so.
These are slow links.
Are they?
I think these are
I
slow
don't think
links.
they're slow links. Maybe they're slow
These are slow
They're
links.
slow links at 32 minutes.
The slow link 32 minute arrest. I thought we've seen it all today, but we have not seen it all just yet. I was like, I'm pretty sure he never got speed. Once more, Dark Templars denied this 5th base. 6th base is about to finish up.
Desrow is experiencing something that is so rarely felt by Protoss players, and that's infinite money.
Infinite money is good money.
He's basically macroing like a Terran with mules.
I love how he let this hedge finish up as well. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but I think it was. I think he saw it. He's like, yeah, 300 minerals. If I can get it, why not?
Somehow Nestea still has cash. I don't...
He's losing hatches left and right.
He's been on 4 bases for 33 minutes.
Gold base, son.
He's had it since the beginning of the game.
He never really saturated it properly. If a bunch of Phoenixes will start picking away at these Mutalisk. I mean, it's really starting to get to the point where it's getting ridiculous for Nestea though. Like, he has no more gas soon. He doesn't have a whole lot of gas income. These slow links, they were effective in the harass, but in the straight up fight, I'm not sure if they are going to benefit a whole lot.
It does look like Desi's in a good position to take it. There's an observer for the swarm host. The Mutaball is just not big enough, although Colossus is just going to take some shield damage and dance away.
Drones were a little late to the party though. How many infestors do we have left? Ooh. 1 fungal. That actually would be so sweet if there's nothing else there. It's a good fungal. Swarmos is still here as well. Nestea dropping all the way down to 130 supply, and above all, Ben, he has no gas.
That's gonna do it. Desbro keeping it real is gonna even up the series at 1 each, keeping his WCS hopes alive, showing us a great game. Gotta really take your hat off to him, playing some excellent StarCraft.
He was ahead of, like, Nestea, his strat is unpredictable, but if you do it 5 times in a row, then it's starting to become a little predictable.
Becomes a little bit more visible.
Yeah.
Desi's like, I've seen you win with mutas like 5 times now.
Yeah. Let me just get that fleet beacon, just in advance. Let me get 8 Phoenixes, even when I don't use them to harass. Let me just make sure I have them. And that is a good way to look at this matchup. I mean, often you can say if you have Colossus, if you have Void Rays, and then you also have Phoenixes with range, what is the Zerg going to do to kill you, man?
Well, not much.
Not in this game.
Not much. As a Protoss player, when you have everything, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Well, later on at Storm as well, there was this one moment where he did lose those Phoenixes. If he wouldn't have had Storm, it could have been a little tricky. Because, you know, on that moment it was like 33 Mutalisk against 6 Phoenix. Yes, he had 3 Stargates, but still, if he would have lost that base,